What's up, guys? We're gonna brobeatz, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make a Detroit/Bay Area type beat. If you guys haven't subbed already or turned on zombies, do so because it does help with a lot. Just hop right into it. So first things first, I'm gonna use an A minor because it's all the white notes, and it'll just be easier for everyone to kind of follow along. And I'm gonna do this one a little different. Instead of making like a type beat or a style, I'm gonna show you the theory behind it and how to recreate it every single time that you want to. So that, because usually when you watch a video and you watch them make the beat, and that's pretty much the only style that you'll have in your I guess mental library, and you'll kind of be stuck in that style. But I want to show you how to create fast pace Detroit whatever type beats, slow, smooth, ambient, whatever style you want. I'm gonna show you the theory about it, so let's get into it. All right, so the BPM, mine's 103. I'll probably just use 100, but if you need a range, and we're talking in halftime is pretty much anything below 120 in my opinion. So 95 to 110 is a great BPM. All right, and if you double it, you can get the double time, but it doesn't always translate necessarily. So I would say maybe, I don't know, 180 to 200 will be good if you're in if you're in double time. All right, so I'm gonna just use 100 just to keep it simple. So as far as like the theory, for the bass, and we could probably use something like this. You could just place 4 notes, right? And in halftime, you delete the 2 middle notes, and this will create bounce. So you want 2 note spaces between these, and you can copy this throughout. Okay. Now without scales, to get to the notes that you need, the half notes, all you need to remember is 3 spaces. So let's go down 3 spaces, and then you place your half steps. All right, the half step is just 2 notes that are right next to each other. All right, there's no space between them. All right, and let's place them. All right, simple as that. Now you can do this on a random one. The 3 spaces, place your half steps. Now you gotta remember the rhythm, so you gotta space them out. All right. So if you want a darker, and let me pull these back up. If you want a darker vibe, you want to use this pattern. If you want it to be a little brighter, you switch these 2. All right. Now you don't have to use all 3. You can use just 1. All right. You can even switch them. All right. Simple as that. So real quick, for piano melodies, these are the notes you need to use. In any combo of these you can kind of use, you got to shape it how you want, but all the half steps, and we're talking in, well, I guess major will work as well, but so the root and all the half steps, that's it. If you go outside of it, it's going to start to sound super melodic. So if you want that, you can, but just the core style, just these notes here, right? All the half steps within the scale and the root. That's it. So let's get started on the beat. All right, so here's the melody, and this is the sound I'm using. Now I have like 4 videos over this style or different styles, and I haven't done like a smooth one yet. So I think I'm gonna try to go in that direction. But all the same theory applies. It's just the pacing and the sounds are used. So remember, we can just start on a root note, and remember these half steps. That's all we gotta do. So it's gonna make it so we're limiting the amount of notes we can use. So it's gonna be easier to make a melody. So do something like this, maybe. All right, I like that. So now we can just copy this whole entire thing over. We don't gotta try to be super creative. All right. So here's the thing that people miss is they forget to put the bass notes within the melody. You don't have to every time, but you can use another VST, but I think it's very important to do that. So we could take this A for the bass note. Remember, we just went over the bass notes to use, so shouldn't be that complicated. So remember, we skip these 2 spaces. And I'm gonna just copy it, pull it over, and we just copy this pattern. Let's go down to our F. Remember the notes that we need to use. And this last one we can just put to a E. And here's the whole thing. All right, and this is gonna help it not sound super repetitive. 2. All right, so let's move on to our next instrument. All right, so for the chords, this is what I'm using. All right. So with the chords, you can kind of use any chords you want. You don't have to stick to the half steps and the root. I'm gonna do that because I just want everything to be consistent. But just keep in mind, you can use really any chords you want that sound good to you. So let's just go in and we can just maybe build the chord from here and just delete this note because it's not a half step. Let me see, let's shrink it down maybe. Right, and if you want to make a smoother beat, just keep in mind you want space. You don't want the melody to be going, and I'm talking about the other instruments. You don't want there too much going on, right, with the chords. You just want to kind of be smooth. So we can copy this over and maybe just lower the note. All right, I like that. We can kind of edit that later, but let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now here's our next instrument. Now with this one, it's kind of ambient, so I'm gonna just maybe copy one of these and see how it sounds, just to make it like sound a little bit more full. Yeah, see, that adds a little bit more ambient, so I'm gonna keep that. So let's move on to this, and this is like kind of like some Rhodes, and I don't want to really make too many like chords play everything. So for this one, we could just kind of add like accents, I guess, just kind of like just give it a little bit something different to it. So and once you know like the notes to use, this will be a lot easier to start. At least you don't have to stick to these half steps every time, but it, you know, it helps keep the sound. Okay, I like that. I think that's pretty much all we need. So now let's go ahead and do the basses. All right, so now let's do the bass, and we already have our bass here, and we can just change things around if we need. Let's copy this, paste it, and I might change the rhythm a bit, maybe do something. Okay, I like that. So now let's do this 808 real quick. So I guess we could just copy this down, and we can use the same thing, except now we can kind of maybe add some notes in here. So I'm gonna try doing something like this maybe. Okay, I think that's a decent little pattern. So now we can just go ahead and add the drums and finish it up. Okay, so just like the melody, I'm gonna try to make these drums as simple so that you can have a foundation to build off of if you haven't made one of these before, right? So we just put our clap in, and we're in halftime, so it's gonna look a little different if you're in 200 or 180 or something, right? Yours is gonna look like this. Their timing will be different, right? It'll be a little different. But I'm in halftime, so I'm gonna just keep it going like this. Now with like these, the rim and the hi-hat, like the areas you want to focus on, I'm gonna just place them down. So these areas right here where the hi-hat is, and like, let me see, maybe like this, like these areas, right? And that'll give you like kind of bounce you need for these type of beats. So I'm gonna just go in and actually make a, like, you know, decent pattern. So these in. Right, I'm going for more of a smooth vibe, so I'm not trying to do too much with the hi-hats and stuff. So that's why a lot of my sounds are kind of like quiet and spaced out, right? We can just add in a kick. I don't really need a kick, but kind of do need one, so. Right, and you can copy this pattern down if you want, and you can build off of it, right? And the more you build off of it, the more patterns you'll have in your head to, you know, extract when you want to make this, right? So that's pretty much it, the beat, and I'll just play it with, let's go here. I'll just play it with the different basses real quick. And of course we can put effects and mix it, but whatever. All right, and that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure you gotta like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.